season with 34. She'll actually be the highest scorer on the field for either team. 13 goals and 8 assists for Beenders. The Profs will definitely have to play her similarly to the way they did in the last game. She only got 1 shot off all game despite having almost 50 throughout the entire season. So hopefully as the game gets underway, the Profs will be able to shut her down because, like you said, she is a big part of that Red Hawks attack. The Red Hawks control the ball first, moving from left to right, wearing all red shirt and shorts, and Rowan wearing their signature yellow shoulder pads, white jerseys with the yellow shorts. They will be moving from right to left. The Red Hawks controlling already on the far side of the field, not trying to break anything open too quickly. The ball will trickle out of bounds just past the 50, and the Profs will gain their first possession. It's going to be really important for the Profs to rebound from their final game of the season because it's going to be the first time all year that they're actually coming off of a loss.
It's going to be interesting to see how they come off the loss because right now it's still fresh in their mind. So hopefully they can just brush off the loss, say get them here.
Yeah, Megan Carchidi gets the ball pretty far up the field for the Profs. A little bit of contact, but Reardigan not able to maintain possession of the ball. And that 0-2 loss coming to TCNJ, who Rowan defeated in the NJAC Finals last year. So that was a team coming back, definitely wanting a win against Rowan. As this ball trickles out of bounds, Rowan will still have possession right in front of us here. Now the throw-in immediately taken away by the Red Hawks, who push it all the way back up the field. But just like they always seem to be, Rowan's defense in position once again, and definitely worth highlighting that defensive unit that has been absolutely stellar all season long. A few all-conference team members on that line as well. Emily Daigle getting the first team. Shelby Money as well, the first team goalie for the NJAC. And right alongside them, though, a lot of Montclair names in both of these conference teams. Ashley Coaster, the midfielder from Montclair State, as well as Erin Sullivan, a backfielder, both representing Montclair in that first team, and Emily Beenders right behind them in the second team. So a lot of NJAC talent, top NJAC talent on the field right now. Montclair State trying for a big clear up to Beenders, who now has control of the ball. Takes her time, and that's what she really is good at, possessing the ball, being very patient. Kind of reminds you of a hockey player, kind of like Rick Nash. He's not really super aggressive, but can be when needed. Now this pass up near the Rowan box, crossing right back into the middle, but Rowan there to clear it away, but stolen away and shot, but deflected immediately. Nice defense positioning there, and this shot will go way over the net. Good job by the Profs to stay strong there, not be too afraid of those shots because they were coming in hot.
You've seen that all season with the defense. We keep mentioning the defense and how good it is. Right there, it just showed you exactly how good they were able to remain calm, and to track down the ball before it got in the net.
Yeah, that was Alex Glickman with the initial shot, and although she only has 2 goals on the season, you can definitely tell that just putting the ball on net is just what the philosophy is for this team. Let something crazy happen and trust that the talent will be able to put the ball into the back of the net. The Profs trying to make something happen now on the offensive end, fighting for it in Montclair's side of the field, but it looks like the Red Hawks will be able to clear this one out for now. But the Profs have a lot of consistent pressure on this team. They haven't been able to show it yet on offense, so as the Red Hawks have done a nice job of possessing the ball, making pretty smart passes, and working slowly but surely up the field as they're doing it again. Glickman with the ball, getting it from Beenders, taking down a little bit of contact there, but they will play on, and Glickman gets the ball back in the middle of the field. Actually, that is Coaster with it now, and now trying to clear it back towards the box. Glickman takes a step in, the Profs regain possession. That's New. New working up that far sideline. The pass a little short, will be taken away by the Red Hawks once again. And really right now the Red Hawks doing a nice job of controlling the ball. Rowan hasn't had a chance to try to get a scoring opportunity just yet. Fans still coming in. A very nice night. A lot of wind usually, but not helping that long pass. Usually that's a factor here in Glassboro, as Money able to clear the ball away. A lot of these long passes usually getting carried a little bit by the wind, but we don't feel it yet. Hopefully we don't feel it now. It could get a little bit chilly if it does, but right now, perfect conditions for a soccer game, especially given that it's in November now.
It was a great play by Money. At first she didn't know what she wanted to do, whether she wanted to pick it up or just kick it. And at the last second, she got the kickoff and was able to clear the ball.
Now Rowan trying to clear it out. Ooh, a near handball there, but the Profs do get away with it, trying to clear it out on defense. The Red Hawks not being too aggressive, but not letting the Profs get out of their own zone easily. New gives it up to Carchidi, but she gives it away. The Red Hawks have control once again right in front of Asukus, trying to clear it towards the middle. Another near handball, but Beender's able to deflect it down and work it back towards center field. Now the Profs finally have a chance to make something happen. Kitzinger running up the field, right up the middle, has a lot of space, tries to early clear, might have been able to wait a few more seconds before she had to pass it. Really didn't have too much pressure on her. But they always do try to get that pass right up the seam, catch a forward in stride and get a shot on net. It's worked before, so can't really fault them for just trying to execute the game plan there. Now the ball back on defense, a little bit of miscommunication there, but Hicks will take it and boot it back to Money. And like you said, only allowing 5 goals all season. That has to be such a huge security blanket for the Profs, especially since 2 of them came in that last game. The defense trying to take the ball back. Rowan wants to get on the board here early. They do not want to have to play from behind. This ball cleared into the box again, easily controlled by Money. They have trailed a few times this season. Obviously, they only have the 1 loss and the 1 tie, but they have played from behind a little bit, so they do know when to get some timely goals, and that's pretty much every goal in postseason play is timely, no matter what sport you're looking at. So hopefully they'll be able to continue doing what they did very well in the regular season. Montclair relentlessly trying to push this ball past that Rowan back line, but Rowan's doing a nice job of pushing them back, not letting them get too close to the net after that first early opportunity within the first couple of minutes. Just under 39 minutes remaining here in the first half. The ball cleared up nicely for the Profs. Reardigan touching it back to Carchidi, and now Reardigan up the sideline. That's going to be a little bit too far, though. And it will go out of bounds. Red Hawks ball.
You know, from the start of the game, we've talked about how Rowan has a great defense and only letting up 5 goals. They've really had a nice offense this year, and so far, Rowan has been held really without a clear possession until right now.
Yeah, now Rowan has the ball on top of the box. A deep shot. Would have been a good field goal in football, but unfortunately no uprights on this field. Ball soars over the crossbar, will be a goal kick. First one of the game for the Red Hawks, and in goal for this Montclair State team, Molly Barrow, who is a sophomore, just like Shelby Money. So both teams relying on underclassmen to man the net, and they've both done an admirable job so far this season. Rowan tries to clear it in once again, but it will trickle out of bounds once again. Another goal kick. They'll just have a little bit of time to reset. The Profs offense, that was pretty much the best we've seen them so far. The only clear opportunity they had to get a shot off, and really that's the name of the game. You just want to put the ball in play, make everybody else on the field make a play. You don't want to try to do something too fancy and just hand them some free possessions, and Maxine New does a great job of that, always fighting for possession. Now Carchidi tries to clear it. It will be deflected out of bounds by the Red Hawks, though, and that will be the first corner kick for the Profs team. Maxine New coming to take the corner on the near sideline. Left side of the field, New, one of the Profs' top scorers, the top scorer in terms of goals for 2 straight years now, getting ready to take this kick. And it's off, heading towards the far post, trying to get a head on it, and they do, but not a strong enough one. A very strong kick from New, but the header not at a good angle to really get the necessary energy behind it.
Before the corner kick, New, it looked like took a shot and fell down, and she was just trying to get something set up, and she did. They got a corner kick out of it. Unfortunately, they were unsuccessful, but it was a great job of staying aggressive and trying to get something started for an early goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are the kind of opportunities that don't really come too often against a team as good as Montclair State. They really do just totally dominate in that department against their opponents this season. 103 corner kicks to 49 for their opponents, so they really do a good job. And I mean, the Profs have the only one of the game right now. Hopefully they can keep that ratio in their favor. They're trying to move up the field once again. Carchidi, a hard touch off the cross to her, but still able to control it is the Profs. They're moving up the field now, sliding, and it will be Red Hawks ball there. A nice effort, though. The Profs doing a nice job of at least keeping the ball on the Red Hawks side of the field now after struggling to do so earlier in the game. Willis Croft, such a strong weapon in that regard. always seems to make the smart play, and this ball cleared down. The ball is spinning very heavily off the deflection, and it will be cleared out for a throw-in. Red Hawks had to get back to make sure that that wouldn't be another corner kick opportunity.
Looks like Rowan's offense now trying to be a little bit more aggressive than they were, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. And you know, you need to, especially with you really haven't gotten a really full possession.
Yeah, New tried to make something happen there, almost gaining control on a seemingly impossible ball. Just under 35 minutes left in the half. The Profs moving up around the box. The ball deflected off of Carchidi. New has it once again right in front of the box, lining up a shot, but it's just wide left. New not able to get that one on goal, but again, that is where she is so dangerous. Doesn't need to be very close to the net to get a solid shot. She did so there. I'm sure she wants that one back, and I'm sure the Profs will generate more of those opportunities for her as this game continues to go on.
Yeah, I believe you still need to get New the ball as much as you can. Leader in goals for the team. Right now you need just a tiny spark for this offense, and they can open up the game big time.
Yeah, the Red Hawks trying to regain that momentum from early on in the game, but the Profs have since seized most of the possession. They're moving up the field once again. A pass trying to get it to Reardon. It looks like she's going to get it before it goes out of bounds. Not too much space. She gets the cross off, though, right into New. Ball popped up out of the box, though. Unable to get a shot on goal, but it looks like that will still be Profs' ball. Carchidi on this near sideline, throwing it into New. And a lot of the offense runs through New. Not necessarily the flashiest playmaker of sorts, but she always waits for the perfect opportunity to make her play, and it really does a great job of setting up her teammates. And though this ball will be trickling out of bounds for a goal kick, her possessing the ball in that near corner, something the Profs are very used to seeing. Michelle Carpino coming into the game now for the Profs. As the goal kick comes towards midfield. Nice job there. Even the goal kick not allowed to go past midfield, but the Red Hawks trying to work it up. And again, Beenders hasn't had a shot opportunity yet, and that's got to be good for the Profs. I mean, we're only 12 minutes into this game, but so far that's good execution on the defensive end.
Yeah, we talked about in the beginning of the game. Got to keep the ball away from Beenders. She can easily score at any time. Defense just needs to be on their toes and just look alive out there.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely cannot overcompensate because Montclair State was able to get a couple of goals not coming from Beenders in that first matchup of the season. Rael Sansone able to get 2 on the board for herself, so the Profs got to make sure that while they want to shut down that primary offensive weapon, they do so to the other players as well who are more than capable. The Red Hawks breaking down the field, across over towards the middle, and it looked like a clean opportunity, but Shelby Money never had to get her hands on it. It got deflected, and now this ball will trickle out of bounds. And it will be a corner kick for the Red Hawks. It looked like a very good goal-scoring opportunity there, but not able to get a touch on it when that window was open.
They did a really good job of just getting the ball out of bounds and everything and letting the play come back and set up. It really looked dangerous. The ball was all over the place. Montclair State was all rushing in. It was just a dangerous situation, so it was a good thing that they got the ball out of the way. Even though it's going to be a corner kick, it gets up a chance to steal the ball and go the other way.
And most of the Red Hawks setting up on the near side as it comes in. The corner comes in from the far side. They decide not to opt to kick it into the box just yet, but now the cross coming in after the initial short pass collected by Money and about to roll it out. Actually almost lost it. That would have been devastating for the Profs. It looked like she was getting ready to roll it out, but there were still Red Hawks behind her, but tragedy averted there. Now the ball back on the Red Hawks side, and we mentioned that last break by the Profs. A lot of playmaking ability for Tyler Madison on this Red Hawks team. She has 7 goals, which is right up there, 4th in this Red Hawks team, and we just saw in that one play alone, she has the speed capable of perhaps getting past this Profs back line, which really doesn't allow many people behind them. But now the Red Hawks have a few numbers here, 4-on-5 moving up, but they do seem to have a lot of space as they come near onto the near sideline. They had Tyler open once again, but instead they go towards that far sideline, and Rowan will once again be able to gain possession. Now they're working up slowly, still trying to collect themselves as everybody moves back to this side of the field. And the Profs are used to playing a pretty low-scoring style, especially if you look at last year's teams, which are winning a lot of 2-1 games, even 1-0 games as late as that NJAC final against TCNJ. So a lack of scoring isn't necessarily going to get into their heads as it would for maybe some other teams.
And you saw at the beginning of the season, a lot of big wins came their way. There was an 11-0, a 9-0 victory. But then when you get down to where we are now, there's been a lot of 1-0, 2-0. So right now, I mean, you can definitely see that time is it's gonna wear them out.
Yeah, once
so
again,
they haven't been,
I mean,
scoring.
that's really what they pride themselves on is, like, I mean, again, they always seem to have so much depth on the bench. They never seem to really get tired, so hopefully they'll be able to keep that up. They have no problem rotating players in and out and they don't have to worry about sacrificing any of that production. So overall, it's really not, the long con isn't really something they're totally worried about. If anything, they have an advantage and want it to go that way because they trust that they have the personnel to get it done. This is Mike DeLeo alongside Joe Stauffenberg here. Just under 30 minutes remaining in the first half of this NJAC semifinal matchup between the Red Hawks and the Profs. The Profs trying to work up the field now. Maxine New doing a nice job of keeping possession. Gets it to Carchidi on the near sideline. And the pass back over to New, but not able to get it. But, of course, right in the middle of the field, the Profs do maintain possession. A little bit of a hold right on the outside of the box. Some contact there, but neutral enough where no call was made, and it will trickle out.
Great defense right there by Tyler Madison. Right at midfield, Maxine New was coming in. Maxine New had to kick it away because Tyler Madison was right there. And you're sticking on her like white on rice.
Yeah, like white on rice indeed. Now New trying to cross it back to the middle. And it's a little bit of a slip up on the ball, which could have been good for the Profs, but the Red Hawks do manage to come up with it, and now they're trying to break up the field. The Profs have done a nice job applying some pressure in the last few minutes, and they halt once again the Red Hawks push here. Hopefully they'll be able to maintain exactly that, not letting this Red Hawks team that can be very explosive at times get too many shots on goal. Now New trying to set something up, getting the ball back towards the middle. That's where the Profs love to control the ball. They get a shot near the net here, not necessarily a shot, maybe trying to set up Carchidi coming across, but just a little bit too far in front for her to reach. And there's not too many seniors on this roster for the Profs, but the ones that are out there absolutely critical to the Profs' success. And Megan Carchidi, one of those seniors, her speed always an asset. And I mean, we've seen it on both sidelines. She just seems to dominate whenever she's out there. And it's not necessarily flashy. She's not the biggest goal scorer, but always putting that pressure on the defense, and her just drawing that little bit of extra attention really opens up the rest of the Profs attack. And the balance in that Profs attack, definitely one of their advantages this season, where as last year they really didn't score too many goals, but Maxine New got them when they counted, getting production from really pretty much up and down the roster this year as the ball is fought for at midfield. Shannon Reardigan and New tied for most points, though Maxine New led with 11 goals. Reardigan had 9, McCary with 8, and Kelly with 7. So a lot of capable goal scorers here, and that's got to give defenses fits.
And you're saying that anybody really can score up and down the roster, especially when it comes time to postseason. You usually look for the people who haven't played much or have gotten many goals. Usually, they're stars in the postseason.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Usually, it's the game plan stays the same, but it's not necessarily. It's all mental, really. As Carchidi trying to break up the middle here, trying to make something happen on the outside of the box. They slow down a little bit, get it back to New, who's now on the outside, kicks it with the left foot, heading over the far corner. It looked like that ball might have had a chance of dropping, but did not get the necessary drop to fall in.
Maybe if the wind did pick up, that ball could have slipped right in the right top corner.
I mean, very accurate shot nonetheless. It was right on line from our view. Could have easily said it was going in. But the Profs will just have to regroup and try once again. Contact on the far sideline. It's been a fairly calm game as opposed to some of the games that we've seen. I mean, the energy is definitely high. You can tell everybody definitely giving pretty much all they have, but nothing in terms of any confrontations on the field, which is pretty good to see considering the history that these teams have with such competitive matches in the postseason. It's always better when they keep it clean. That's what they've done so far. Now Shannon Reardigan has the ball in the middle of the field, and now she gets it back after a quick give and go. Some more contact there. And the Red Hawks able to stifle the attack for now. Beaners with it. And, I mean, the Profs had the numbers on defense, but whenever she gets near the ball, it always makes you just a little bit cautious. Like, uh-oh, could be a play coming here. But for now, the Red Hawks able to retain, clear it back up. The Profs a little bit of a big touch on defense, almost a handball near the top area there, but no call. The ball's kicked back in, and Shelby Money will be there to clean it up and restart for the Profs. So high stakes here for the Profs, as they definitely want to try to make it to that NJAC final, but also some big stakes elsewhere in the sports world tonight. Game 7 of the World Series between the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs. I mean, Rowan hasn't won an NJAC title since last year. Those teams, it's been a little bit longer since they've won their respective titles, so hopefully that'll be a fun game. That'll definitely be around. We'll try to give as many updates as possible throughout this broadcast, because that is definitely one that baseball fans will not want to miss. But for now, we'll stick with the Profs, of course, as they try to break the 0-0 tie. 25 minutes remaining here in the first half. Neither team really being too aggressive. Again, we've talked about they don't really need that goal. They just want to play within themselves and try not to force anything, possibly wait for the other team to make mistakes. But both of these teams combined for 30 wins in a regular season, so not many mistakes to be made. But Rowan trying to make something happen again on the offense. They're always trying to split the field, moving most of their attackers to the right side, then trying to come back to the near side and get it to Carchidi, but they're unable to find the perfect pass or the perfect timing just yet.
One part of Rowan's game that is aggressive is their defense. Emily Binder was in their a zone looking for a goal, but as soon as she walked right in there, there's a swarm of Rowan defenders, right, and just came and blocked the ball.
Yeah, and that Binders and the rest of the attack struggling to get up near Shelby Money. But now they do get the ball back across to Tyler Madison on this near sideline. Trying to make Carchidi miss, and she does find a little bit of space, but the Profs do a nice job of regaining possession. And again, and the Red Hawks, what they do better than a lot of the teams that we've seen the Profs play against is just getting more offensive threats up the field with every push, because sometimes we see opposing teams struggling to defend, and then when they finally get the ball, it's only 2, maybe 3 attackers moving up towards the goal. But here they get everybody up in transition, at least give them a chance to make a couple of passes if need be.
I mean, Montclair State has been outscoring opponents 37-6 in the first half of the games this year.
Wow.
And that's a lot of goals compared to the 28 that Rowan has. So it's a good thing right now that the defense is really stepping up for Rowan.
Yeah, Montclair State trying to make something happen. The ball on the foot of Madison, but now cleared back into the box by Sukus. Ball headed away briefly, but Red Hawks still have possession. Coaster pops it up into the box. It's still there, possibly trouble, but the Profs finally clear it out. At least give them some space to breathe. Still on the foot of the Red Hawks, though. Another deflection and some contact, but the Red Hawks do play on. Rowan doing a nice job of not allowing critical possession to be regained. Coming across the middle of the field, clearing it out of bounds very strongly there is Deanna Rotella, but it will be a Profs ball.
Substitution number 4, Catherine McCary.
And now Catherine McCary coming into the game for the Profs, her first appearance of the game. Another solid season for the sophomore. The Red Hawks get possession back immediately. Beanders gets knocked down a little bit, and that will be a free kick in Rowan territory. Leaning on the half towards the goal, so potential opportunity at a play here. On a couple of free kick opportunities that the Red Hawks have had, there's been a setup on the opposite side of the field, right on the 18-yard line, and it looks like something similar being set up on this chance. Taking the free kick will be Erin Sullivan. This one is near the net towards the far post. Money tries to get a hand on it, and she may have done so, but not before somebody else deflected it out of bounds on the Red Hawks, and it will be a goal kick for the Profs.
It was a very, very dangerous play for Money, putting her, looks like her body on the line to try to dive and get that one. And the flying Money, fortunately for Rowan, got the ball out, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, you always hate to put the ball and where it's going to deflect in Fate's hands, but worked out there for the Profs. Money once again showing off her awareness on the field. And she knows better than I do when she should come out of the net and when not to. So I'll trust her judgment on that one. The Profs trying to work back on offense, relieve some of this pressure that's come upon Money. In recent possessions, Williscroft tries to cross it up to the middle, but the Red Hawks able to regain it. That's right. Taken right back by the Profs after a pass from Beenders goes awry. But once again, the ball just keep trading possession. Neither team able to really sustain an attack since the very beginning, when really Montclair State had the best opportunity so far to score a goal. They had a couple of passes right in at the box. They just couldn't get that right touch on to get a solid shot, make Money make that save. But now McCary, always ready to make a play, gets her first pass of the game. Missed touch there by the Montclair State defense. That off the foot of Brooke Beatty, and it will be Prof's ball deep in Red Hawks territory on a throw-in.
Pass play was just basically trading back and forth with possessions, and now Rowan has a throw-in, and they're trying to get something set up finally and put them on the board.
New tries to get it all the way up to Carchidi, and she's able to keep it right on the end line, but no, they will finally make the call that it was out. Referee's pretty far away on that one. Late call. Yeah, definitely a late call, but it appeared to be the right one. It didn't seem like Carchidi was going to have time to get there, and she didn't, despite that speed. And she will be coming out of the game for now. Profs making a couple of substitutions as well as one for the Red Hawks. Rael Sansone coming into the game for Montclair State. Sammy Pagnani and Sarah Rosenberg coming into the game for the Profs. And Sansone, the one that scored 2 goals against the Profs, off the bench then as well. So the Profs, I'm sure, are very aware of her presence on the field right now. Defense trying to pass it around. Got to be careful. Beenders lurking, looking for that 1 second misstep there, or indecision, ready to pounce. But the Profs defense, always so strong, you do not expect that to happen. And they didn't right there. Just under 19 minutes to go here on the campus of Rowan University, and the winner of this game will be playing the College of New Jersey, the 1 seed in a tournament. Earlier today, they took down the Kane University Cougars 4-0 off of 3 second-half goals, and that's a team who, 18-2 regular season record. They just continue to pile up the goals, and they did so against Rowan too. The 2-0 victory, just dominating the Profs, and the Profs will definitely need to change up their game plan, get back to what they do best if they play TCNJ. But first, they have to get by this Red Hawks team, trying to get a goal-scoring opportunity right here, as trying to break up the field with this one is Melissa Kelly, leaving it off towards that near sideline. Into the corner now. Some contact as they fight for it, but a nice job zoning off the Profs attack, and it will be another goal kick.
I know. Just like you said, Rowan is the only one loss coming from TCNJ. It's still, once again, fresh in their mind, and I know they want it down there. They want TCNJ again, but first they need to focus on Montclair State.
Yeah, absolutely. Montclair State trying to hold the Profs off the scoreboard. The first goal definitely means a lot in these kinds of games, and the ball deflected out by Rowan. Sukhus forcing that one. And it'll be another goal kick once again. And it's really been a great season for both the men and women's soccer team. Both of them had an identical 15-1-1 record in the regular season, and naturally neither of them were able to get the 1 seed despite such an insane record. But the Profs of the men's soccer team is the highest seed remaining in their tournament after Rutgers Newark was upset yesterday. And the Profs will be playing in the finals on Friday for the NJAC tournament, so hopefully they'll be able to not only win that, but hopefully have the women trying to win that title probably the next day. If that is the case, a free kick right on net, but no deflection able to be made there. A nice opportunity there for the Profs. I can't believe that ball managed to go all the way untouched. Pretty solid kick. If they managed to get a couple bodies in there, maybe force a deflection, who knows what could have happened. But nonetheless, the Profs do not take advantage of the foul. Hicks running back, zoning off Beenders. Money comes out far to shovel that one out. And the Profs able to control the ensuing possession. McCary with a nice little bit of push off the back line, breaking towards the box, using that speed, but she will be cut off at the very last moment, unable to beat the speed back there of Deanna Rotella McCary. A very, very nice move, being able to kind of hide that little bit of contact to get the extra space she needed.
Rotella with tremendous speed. I saw her right from the line right here, run all the way and tracked her down to his crazy speed. Looks like she put the turbo on.
Yeah, I mean, you see that in football a lot. It'll be an interception. Nobody else even in the frame. And then all of a sudden, you see a running back perhaps running all the way back down the field. That's exactly what it looked like there, and potentially saved a goal. But now McCary trying to get another touch on during the box, and it is a nice one right in front of the net, but unable to make it count. And you just see McCary coming off the bench immediately, giving the offense a little bit of extra energy.
Rowan substitutions. Number 9, Lauren Coletti.
Couple more
Number
substitutions
26,
for the
Megan
Profs. Megan McKinley and Lauren Coletti coming into the game. And you know now if the Profs get pretty much any free kick opportunity, McKinley so good from pretty much any spot on the field at putting the offense in a position to get a shot off on net. Those free kicks definitely one of the Profs' better offensive weapons. Now the Redhawks working back down the field. Beenders wanted it, but they do get it across the middle of the field to Tyler Madison. Trying to give it to Beenders, but she was crossing back over the middle. A little bit of miscommunication there. But the Profs do just kick the ball right out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in deep in their own territory near that far corner.
It was a good thing that they got the ball out of bounds, and for Montclair State to set back up again. It looks like it was a miscommunication for the defenders, and it could have been a very dangerous play, but luckily, once again, just like we said, to get it out and have them set back up again.
Just under 14:30 remaining here in the first half. Score still tied at 0 at the campus of Rowan University. Both schools have a lot of fans here. Still relatively quiet, though. Both a little bit nervous waiting for that first goal to get on the board, because we know a goal is going to get there at some time, but everybody wants it to be their team. Hopefully it will be the Profs with just over 14 minutes remaining, but the ball's still deep in Montclair State territory. I mean, it's been here for pretty much a minute or so, but they haven't been able to move the ball into the box. Give the Profs defense credit for that, but don't want it to linger around here too long. It just takes one big strike from one of the forwards to make Money make a save.
You always want to get the first goal. It'll just give you more confidence, and the blood will really be flowing, and then it could lead to possibly more. So you just want the energy coming off of that goal.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it is, and it's that big
19,
momentum
Christine
boost is
Lambert.
perhaps even better than winning on the scoreboard. Obviously, you always want to be ahead, but you just trust that with a team this good, you just need that little bit of a momentum advantage to really be able to snowball whatever lead you get into something much bigger. Some friendly banter between Profs fans, always welcome to see. The nerves aren't too extreme where they're not worrying about it too much, which is good, but obviously want to see the Profs get on the scoreboard here, and they're trying to work back up the field. It's 3-on-3, but they slow it down a little bit. McCary with a nice pass over the middle, but intercepted nicely by the Redhawks, doing a nice job of coming back after that recent attack. Up the sideline now, trying to make a play, a little bit of contact perhaps over the back, but they do let them play. The refs really doing a nice job of that here. Nothing too egregious that hasn't been called. So the little bit of contact that is being let go, certainly acceptable in a playoff format. And this ball cleared up by Montclair State. That's Sutkus clearing it up. The Profs trying to get away. Hicks clears it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Redhawks.
Yeah, and you never really want to see the referees stop the play a lot. You know, you're here for the game, you're listening for the game, and it's just like any other sport. You know, you hate to see the whistle, but if you need it, you need it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. I mean, it gets on people's nerves when the refs are kind of not making themselves the focus of the game, but when the whistle's being blown constantly, it kind of ruins the rhythm of the game. But there's also a point, which is what you're getting at, where you got to blow the whistle because you don't want to ruin the rhythm of the game, but if the game's not being played the right way, you got to make something happen.
There's the handball or somebody really drags somebody down. Of course, you got to blow the whistle.
Exactly.
But, you know,
integrity of the game.
Yes, exactly.
And the Profs trying to get on the board in a clean fashion here, which is what they always do. Now trying to get up on that far sideline after spending most of the half on the near one, but they come right back to this side of the field. trying to get passes off, very hard passes, moving back and forth across the field, trying to find a little bit of space, but the Red Hawks doing a nice job of closing it up the second it seems to appear. Mayorga controlling now, gets it back to Sukus. Working it back up towards the middle, a nice little pass there, but Hicks there to clear it way back up the field. The Profs might be able to get a shot on it. Oh no, Coletti not able to get there in time, but McCary now gets the touch. The Red Hawks have a lot of numbers on defense, but it seems like the Profs outnumbered them just based on the touches they were able to get deep in the zone. Sukus back on it, trying to clear it up this near sideline. Mayorga now fresh into the game, and that will be a Red Hawks throw-in. Willis Croft knocks the ball out there, throw-in right at the 50 for the Red Hawks. And I mean, at this point with 10:20 left in the first half, a goal here might be the only one of the half, and it's always nice to have that break with the lead. It's a lot better to talk about how you're going to control the lead rather than try to regain it.
And you want to go into the locker room. It just gives you more confidence for the second half. And you want to put as many goals as you can for insurance, for money.
And now Beenders making a couple of men miss, gets the shot off on net. Money there to make the save. And I mean, that's what Beenders does. She just needs a couple of seconds to try to free up just the tiniest bit of space, and she's able to get a shot off on net. Low enough there where Money was able to dive on top of it, but the Profs can't let her maintain possession of the ball for that long on the 18. Now trying to work up the middle of the field is Glickman for the Red Hawks, but they decide to opt back to the defense just as the Profs tend to do. Try to get the offense going. Rotella clearing it up towards that far sideline now, right in front of the Profs bench. And last year at this time of the year, it was very cold, so you still see some sweats on the bench of both teams, but not nearly the windy, blustery conditions that we saw last year. So hopefully that helps out both teams, especially on the injury front, because you definitely don't want to see either team get injured. This seems to be pretty much ideal playing conditions, which is pretty much perfect for the postseason.
Feels good to still be wearing
exactly.
shorts
You got
and
the short sleeve on.
Short sleeve.
Yeah, and preparing for this game, I was ready, thinking about last year. Like, oh, I wore a sweatshirt, I wore a jacket, and I was still pretty cold. So, but we both managed to pull it off, and you got the nice Rowan radio polo on, representing more nicely than I am. Of course, I wimped out a little bit with a sweatshirt, but the Red Hawks certainly trying not to wimp out on the offensive end, and they're really just putting on a lot of pressure in the Profs to end this half, and it's really been the story. The first 10 minutes were pretty much all them in the offensive zone, and now in the last couple of minutes to start the final 10 of the first half, it's been the same story. The Profs need to break out here and at least get the ball around midfield and play around with it there, because you don't want that one errant pass to give Beenders a wide open shot opportunity.
I think, Rowan, every time they're just trying to get in the Montclair State zone, they can't do it because they're just trying to set up the play, and it's just not happening because of their defense. So what I think they should need to do in the second half is come out very aggressive and just go in there, just try to get a shot off and make the goalie work.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to make the goalie work, exactly what I was going to say, but they would like to make their defense be the reason that they win a game. And I mean, that sounds a little weird because obviously you need goals to score, but they want to play through the defense and let the opportunity present itself. That's why that's why they like these low-scoring games, because they wait. If they get a goal, great, but it's the defense finding that one pass up the field, give it to McCary or New, or perhaps both, have them set up a 2-on-2 of sorts as this ball cleared in, easily controlled by Money. But like you said, they could definitely change it up because that's the kind of approach they're used to, but Montclair State might not be ready for a really run-and-gun approach from this offense. Headed up right at midfield, 7 minutes to go in the half. The ball cleared up nicely, a couple of nice passes up the field for the Profs, but the next touch will be from Beatty, able to clear it back for the Red Hawks. Profs trying to make something happen here, but unable to get any momentum going. Rosenberg gets by Rosenberg. Now Beenders has it on the 18-yard line, trying to get a little bit of space, and she seems to be doing so, and a nice box out there, and the Profs take possession, and they do call the offensive foul. So a very, very nice job there by the Profs to regain possession in the exact dangerous part of the field we were just highlighting.
It was like a Shaquille O'Neal box out. That was a great box out.
Yeah, I don't think Shaq ever tried that hard on a box out.
Yeah.
That was a lot of effort there.
Especially on Emily Beaners. I mean, she's tore it up this season, as a freshman, which very surprises me a lot. But once again, a great box out, which got Rowan a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely good. Clear the ball out of that zone. Yeah, Beenders, like you said, a freshman, played her soccer for Rawway High School, but went to classes and such at Union County Vocational Technical High School, which I'm a proud alumni of. So it's great to see her succeeding, but don't want her to succeed too much in this game. Want to see the Profs come out with the win, of course. But nice to see UC Tech getting some representation for sure. Profs trying to get on the board first here, but still unable to do so. Tied 0-0, 5:30 remaining in the first half on the campus of Glassboro. Having that home field advantage so great, even if it is only for this game, which is what it would be, since the final game will be played at TCNJ no matter what the result of this game after their earlier win against Kane. Montclair State, the 3 seed, like you mentioned earlier. The Profs, the 2 seed, of course. The Lions getting that 1 spot. A lot of tight competition near the top of the conference, which, I mean, ideally, in an ideal world, every team in the conference is pretty close and every game is contested, but having a few teams really near the top, so close there, is pretty exciting as well, so you really cannot complain about it. I mean, the success of all 3 teams, TCNJ, Rowan, and Montclair State, combining for a conference record of 23-3-1. So definitely a lot of wins on that end, and really they traded wins back and forth against each other, which just makes this tournament all the more intriguing.
I mean, the top 3 had the 15 wins coming in, and then of course the NJAC makes the with the conference record. That's when you have the get the seeding. Rowan having 7 and Montclair State also having 7. TCNJ 9-0, perfect in NJAC play.
Yeah, I mean
that's what earned them the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and I mean they definitely earned it. Not losing to a single team in the conference, a massive accomplishment. The Profs, though, need to win this game to get a chance to be the first NJAC team to defeat the Lions. Hopefully able to do so here. Just under 4 minutes to go. The Profs still looking for something. They are on the Red Hawks side of the field, but it's the Red Hawks that now have possession, trying to work up. But now coming back from the offensive end, Profs able to regain possession. That was Rosenberg getting it there. Now a little bit of contact in the middle of the field, but that's Beatty able to pretty much get the ball cleanly after that initial stop. Now it's the Profs defense trying to get it back up. Ball at midfield. A lot of moving around for both teams. I mean, coming back and forth on offense and defense. No player seems to be lagging behind a little bit. They know they really can't afford to be one man short because you never know when that big play is about to happen. So give them a lot of credit, and this game might as well just start. It doesn't appear that anyone is tired, or especially not wanting to leave the game, which is great to see. It makes that playoff atmosphere feel all the more intense. 2:45 remaining in this first half. I mean, they've been playing for 40 minutes, so not letting up at all. And the Profs offense trying to make it happen here. A pass right across the middle of the field. Coletti coming back to get this one. Now it's back on the outside. They cross it back into the middle of the box. Now trying to get a shot off the box. Oh, it's taken away by the defense. The Profs had an open lane for just a second, but unable to take advantage. Now coming back for this one. A little bit of contact once again. Bud Rosenberg doing a nice job to at least stop the fast break for the Red Hawks. Ball popped up in the air. Hicks able to head it down momentarily, but now back on the foot of Glickman. The Profs now finally working past half field. They're trying to work it back up to the attack. They have Coletti on a break, but unable to find her just yet. And that's what they try to do. They try to find the opportunity for that one pass to a cutting attacker, but Montclair's, give them credit. They've done a nice job of shutting down those passing lanes. There's only 100 seconds left in the first. At this rate, doesn't seem like anything's going to happen on the scoreboard yet for this half.
Coletti had 1 chance, which that's really been Rowan's closest chance at scoring. It looks like she was just trying to do too much with the ball, just trying to get around the defender. I would have liked to see her just get a shot off, just maybe a deflection off of someone. anything could have possibly happened. The goalkeeper could have misplaced the ball and just rolled in. Anything could have happened. So I would have liked to have seen a shot go off. But unfortunately, it did not happen. Just trying to do a little bit too much to get an open lane.
And a free kick all the way down the field into the Profs box. But they're able to regain possession here and move up the field. Potentially a chance to get into some space. A little bit of room. Oh, the first touch was a little bit too hard. Rosenberg not able to pass it up in time. Montclair State now able to regain possession. That was a nice break opportunity there for the Profs, but when you're in that fast break, you have so much space. Sometimes a little bit too hard of a touch can get to you and ruin the opportunity. 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Profs deep in the Profs zone. They kick the ball out of bounds. It will be a Red Hawks throw-in from their far sideline. They waste no time getting it in, but Rowan wastes no time clearing the ball out towards midfield. The header gets it back to the Red Hawks, and they're trying to make something happen. 18 seconds left in the half. But now the ball cleared out near the sideline once again. Looks like this will stay in bounds for now.
9,
will clear it
8,
out.
7,
And it looks like they're
6,
just going to let this half
5,
run out.
4,
A throw-in
3,
might be made within
2,
the last few seconds, and they
1,
do, but that will be the end of the half. Maybe all they needed was a little bit of a change of scenery to get that offense sparked.
Yeah, that's all you need. I feel like soccer is basically like a game of adjustments. You know, if something's not working, change it up, and that's what you could see from both teams in the second half.
Yeah, Rowan starting with the ball. Kitzinger tries to get it up the field, but it is given away, and now Montclair State will have it. Beenders right at midfield. But now Rowan able to take it back, and they do have a few numbers here trying to work up the middle of the field. They have the ball in the box. A shot taken on net off the hands. A hard shot. Not able to catch that one was Barrow. A hard shot coming from Maxine New, who will head right to the corner for the Profs' first corner kick of the half, or not even a minute in.
Rubbing her hands after that one. A really hard shot, and just a beautiful save right there. And as soon as the corner kick came, New ran right over, and everybody knows that New is going to take that kick.
And this one's a low towards the near post. Doesn't able to get through that initial traffic. Kelly was there first, and now New tries to get another shot on goal. Does not reach, though. Bounces right into the hands of Barrow, who's got to be, might be a benefit, though, getting action right away for. Wasn't a lot of action in the first half for her in terms of making saves. Made them when she needed to, but perhaps able to get her legs under her quickly here in the second half. Might not be necessarily a good thing for the Profs.
Two shots already. Not even 2 minutes already in the half. And it just shows that Rowan's trying to get something started on offense, and they tried to start it, get it done early.
Yeah, Montclair State trying to do the same here, working the ball into the box right on that goal line, but Profs able to get it back out towards the side at the very least, forcing a throw-in just to the right of that far corner, left side of the field. Montclair State, they're backing up, perhaps a deep throw into the box here, but instead, a little bit of a pump fake there. They get it pretty short. Keep it outside of the box, trying to control possession, trying to get a corner kick, but deflected nicely off the back of the Profs. Some contact, but they're able to clear it up towards center field, but they're now getting it right back into the box. And Beenders has it, but nicely taken away once again. She's had it taken from her in that spot a couple of times already in this game, and that is great news for the Profs. Melissa Kelly working up the field now onto that far sideline, working through Carchidi like this offense tends to do when moving up the field, trying to find a little bit of space, and she's able to find it. Now working up the sideline, but unable to keep it in bounds. Really didn't have much margin for error there, and it will be a Red Hawks throw-in.
Just another reminder, the winner of tonight's game will go and face TCNJ at the College of New Jersey. They won earlier against Kane University.
Yeah, and the Profs obviously would have wanted home field advantage, but dropping that last regular season game is pretty much the only reason why they weren't able to have it guaranteed throughout the tournament. Obviously, if TCNJ were to have lost their semifinal match, Rowan, if they win, would have gotten home field advantage, but they're going to have to play through it anyway. They've shown very good aptitude on the road as well, so I'm sure it's not really too much of a concern for them. They just want to get there, and to do so, got to get past this Red Hawks team, which just will not relent. from their attack. They have a free kick here from just past midfield, but everybody in the box ready for the kick to come. Gets to the 18, and it actually gets through a couple of bodies. The Redhawks still have it right outside now. Deflected slightly, but another shot on goal. Hits off the post and into the arms of Money. Wow, that was almost a goal for Montclair State. A player down, there will be a timeout, but the Profs barely by inches escape being down in this game.
Shelby Money's best friend was right there, and it was the post.
Wow, and I mean, you got to give Money a little bit of credit there, too. The ball shot to her as she turned around towards the net. So if she's not able to gather that ball and catch it right away, might bounce right back in towards that yellow netting. So a massive break for the Profs, but a big, big opportunity for the Redhawks. And the player that was down momentarily was actually Daniela Greco, who I believe was the one that got the shot off. So literally put all she had into that attempt, and it was just not enough. The Profs got to turn the tides a little bit, because that was by far the closest we've seen to a goal in this game.
It wasn't easy for Money to get that after a bounce off the post. She was able to have the concentration to get the ball back.
Kitzinger flying down the near sideline, but the Profs give it away. She's not able to get the pass over to Maxine New. Now they're working with it on the near sideline. The Redhawks trying to get it out, and the Profs being a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck. And now, I mean, it leads to another turnover, a throw-in here for the Profs, throwing it in Fasano. Kelly has it. 2 defenders draped over her. She does give it away. Now the Redhawks have a chance to respond. We're only about 4.5 minutes into this half, but a lot of action so far, and now it continues. A very soft shot on net. Tried to get one strong touch on it that time, was Hornster breaking down the field. Had some good speed, but knew she really didn't have enough field to be able to control that ball and get a good shot off. So Money will be able to clear it all the way down the field, and a deep kick manages to go off a deflection and deep into the Redhawk zone, and now it'll be a throw-in on the near sideline for Kitzinger. Gets it down to the near corner by New, trying to make a play on it. She is battling right now without Alexis Coaster, but not able to do it. Ashley Coaster, excuse me, but the ball moved back to midfield. Daigle gets the first touch on it, and now the Profs trying to work from the middle of the field. Reared again with a pass to the near sideline. That's Kitzinger. Kissinger nearing the corner. A little bit of contact there. She's doing a nice job of controlling the ball. The student section over there for the Profs, very loud about it, but Kissinger manages to break out anyway. Kelly tries for a swift behind the back pass, unable to get enough on it though, and the Redhawks able to control 4 now. Some more contact on this side of the field, and it will be a free kick in favor of the Redhawks. So some battling for possession. Nothing really too bad there. There was a lot of contact, so no surprise there that the call was made, but nice opportunity there for the Profs.
Money began the play with a booming kick down the field, and it ran right into the Montclair State zone, and it basically kept the ball in there for a good minute, and the defense unfortunately couldn't keep it in the zone to try to get an offensive possession.
And now it's Rowan that is trying to man another stop here. The Redhawks trying to work up the field on that far sideline, have a throw in here. Taking their time, making sure they set it up. They've given the ball away a lot right off of throw-ins, and they almost do so here, and the ball is trickling away from everybody now, but will finally be kicked up the field by the Redhawks, and they do manage to finally get possession just in bounds. Playing right along that sideline, something the Profs loves to do, and the ball always seems to drift towards the side of the field that Carchidi's on, but on offense so far, it's been Kitzinger's side of the field that has been the focal point. The Profs have possession, and it will be a free kick from deep in the zone. A little bit too much contact there for the liking. I mean, you pointed it out coming into halftime, maybe see a little bit more aggressiveness, and we've seen it for both teams here. And obviously, sometimes a result of that will be a couple more free kicks that teams could try to take advantage of.
You know, both teams really want this, you know, because you always want that championship, and you always want to be the best, you know, in the conference. And right now it's a toss-up. I mean, the way that both teams are playing, and it's gonna be a good finish.
Yeah, I mean, you'd very surely hope so. Hopefully it's in favor of the Profs, but nonetheless, this will be surely a competitive game until the bitter end. The Profs trying to work past midfield now after their recent turnover on the last possession. They finally get a chance now. Have the ball working towards the middle of the field. That's New. Whenever it works towards the middle, it's dangerous. Kitzinger has it. Oh, and she misreads the path of that ball. Forced into the corner, still has possession. A deep cross, though, very strong. Coming across, and the header just missed there. A very nice cross from Kitzinger. Maybe that was her plan all along. A shot from outside of the box goes over the net. So some impressive playmaking there for the Profs. Some individual plays trying to be made there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to turn it into a goal.
They almost had that header from New. What a goal that would have been for the first on the board. And
yeah,
to give Rowan the lead. Fortunately, he couldn't capitalize on it, but a great awareness to go run it and get the ball, track the ball down.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, Kitzinger would have gotten it breaking across the near side of the box and cutting right in, but not able to receive the pass with the Profs. Before we get too deep into that, trying to go once again. The ball working towards this near corner now. Crossing it over is Fasano into the middle of the field. Nobody on it just yet. And it's the Redhawks that are able to clear it out for now. Onto the foot of Beenders, who definitely wants to turn the tide. Mishandles the ball slightly, but gets the pass up. But the Profs are there to contest. A nice aggressive play to get the ball right back into Redhawks territory. Fasano always seems to be in the right spot at the right time to make that kind of play. But yeah, getting back to that previous attack attempt by the Profs, Kitzinger able to get that nice cross over to New, who wasn't able to get enough on a header. And now the Profs moving up the field again, very cleanly taking the ball away. And once again on the sideline, Kitzinger trying to get it across. She has it on the goal line, tries to chip it in, and it's just a little bit too soft right into the hands there of Barrow.
Great job by Daigle there, keeping the ball in Montclair State zone. Right at midfield, jumped right in the pass, kicked it all the way down, and it set up another shot for the Profs. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize, and we have a Red Hawk down in the box.
Yeah, slow to get up once again. Yeah, hopefully everybody's okay. Just about 35 minutes remaining in this game. The referee calls for a stoppage of the clock. Make sure everybody gets sorted out okay. And it looks like it is Daniela Greco, who was hurt earlier just a few minutes ago on the fantastic scoring opportunity that she almost turned into a goal. Obviously not totally right. She'll be held off the field. She's able to walk a little bit, but so that's at the very least good. Hopefully she'll be all right. I mean, whenever you get a player that explosive out off the field, just a less energetic game, because, I mean, such a talented offensive player there. You hope that they have somebody coming off the bench, and, I mean, they've been able to do that all season long. You don't really get to 15-3-1 overall and 7-2 in the conference without players more than capable of willing to step up when one of their teammates is unable to carry their part of the bargain. So I'm sure Montclair State wants her out there, but hopefully she'll be all right. But, again, hopefully the change of pace isn't too good for Montclair State. We want the Profs to be able to stay in control of this game, and they've not really been able to do so here in the second half. They've got a couple of opportunities, but Montclair State has been right there with them. But Rowan has controlled the last couple of minutes, and they're doing so right now. Working the ball up right past the 18-yard line, and New trying to chip it into the box, but nothing doing there, and the Redhawks try to clear it out, and they get a pass now right into the goal box and just over the crossbar. Tried to chip it over the head of Barrows, but the Profs not able to get it in. Very close there for the Profs. Probably the best shot they've gotten for sure in this game so far.
Well, it looked like it was just the shot that New, I believe, had earlier in the game where it just missed the corner of the top right. And it was basically like the same thing. And it's calm right now. No wind, no nothing really. It's a beautiful night. The wind could have possibly put in a factor because we have no shot.
Yeah, and a steal here on the offensive end. The Profs trying to cross it over, and it's a nice one, but lands right on the foot of Sukus, who's able to clear it back out. Ooh, some contact in the middle of the field off the ball. No call. Likely incidental there. Both players looking at the ball and not at each other, which tends to happen on the pitch sometimes. But the Profs do get possession. They're right outside the box near the far corner, trying to break in, and a shot on net going to go way over. Whether it was a cross or a shot, we'll never know. It went out of bounds anyway. Trying to put it in a good place, but you can't blame them. All threes across the clock. 33 left in this game, or in the second half, rather. Can't say the game because who knows how long this one will go scoreless. And I mean, keep talking about the NJAC final. because it was the most recent NJAC tournament game the Profs have been a part of. That game was 0-0 going into overtime, so no guarantee that we're going to see something different in this one. Header in the middle of the field. Profs trying to regain possession. Carchidi is able to do so from the middle of the field and take it back to her far sideline. Now they're trying to get back into the box once again. That's Kelly with it, making a break towards the net. Crosses it over into the middle of the field, but the ball bounced a little bit, trying to get a header on it, and that ball looks like it will trickle out of bounds. Profs try to keep it in on that goal line, unable to do so, but they've really done a nice job of at least generating something of an offense here, while Redhawks have struggled to really just get it out of the defensive zone.
I do not know what Scott Leacock did at the end of the first half, but it looks like he's really energized his offense, and they just keep getting shot after shot after shot. Unfortunately, nothing's going in and nothing's going Rowan's way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably gave a Herb Brooks-like speech at halftime, get the team pumped up. Some contact here, and it'll be a free kick. The crowd was ready for that call, and they do get it. And I mean, this is a pretty far kick, but Maxine knew, probably wouldn't be surprised here, try to get one on net, make something happen. Probably about 35 yards out from the goal. It's New, a three-man wall, trying to block this shot. New coming in, puts the ball on net, and it goes into the net. It looked like it might have gone, it looked like over. I trusted the crowd there. It didn't look like it went in, but it does go over the net.
It did look like it. It did.
Premature
net,
celebration
yes.
there. It was right on target.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's very deceptive there. And as nice as the yellow net looks in the back of the goal, a little bit deceiving there. All the yellow jerseys over there, a little bit confusing. So the Profs not yet on the board. Apologies for that. Hopefully they'll be able to generate opportunities just as close and better than those in the coming minutes. Finally get that goal on the board. Maybe that's a good karma. Shot from way outside the box here, right on net. Easy save made by Barrows there.
I think
So close.
I think everybody here thought that the ball went in.
It even looked like New.
Up.
New didn't really know.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, still 0-0 here in the second half. 31 minutes of action left. Getting a little bit chippy in this game. Players being very aggressive as they need to be to get a goal on the board. You don't want to leave anything out on the field, especially if this could potentially mean the end of the season for both teams. There's no guarantee of a NCAA berth if you don't win the tournament. Both teams want to put themselves in a position to get that. New working towards the box now, slowing down a little bit to get a good shot off. Low on the ground, a nice bounce, but Barrow's able to move over and scoop it up.
Maxine New taking the most shots on her team, most in the conference. You know, they just let her shoot, and she's leader in goals and tied for the most points on the team with Shannon Reardon. They just want her to keep shooting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. She can pretty much shoot from anywhere within 35 yards of the goal, no matter what side of the field she's on. So always willing to shoot, and it's good. And, I mean, obviously she's been effective at it. I'm sure we haven't seen the last shot attempt from her in this one. Just under 30 minutes remaining in the second half. Score still tied 0-0. This is Mike DeLeo alongside Joe Stauffenberg, and the Redhawks pressing in for an attack. Beenders tries to get a deflection on it, but ball scoots under her foot. And the Profs able to momentarily clear out, but the Redhawks finally, at least for the time being, keeping the ball in. But the Profs doing a nice job of trying to break past towards midfield. But now a pass into that far corner, and it looks like the Redhawks are going to get there first. A cross over into the middle of the box. Money able to grab it. Able to dive on top of it before Sansone was able to get her foot on it. And I mean, Sansone's so dangerous, scoring 2 goals for the Profs in their last game against Montclair State, or against the Profs. Now working down the sideline here. Ball trickles out of bounds. The Profs almost had a nice little break there with Carpino scorching down the near sideline, but it looks like it will be a throw-in. And I mean, we talked about that previous matchup in the season a few times this game, but it was 3-2. Doesn't seem like 5 goals are going to be scored in the last 29 minutes of this game, at least the way it's been going so far.
Anything is possible right now. Both offenses looking very good. was a good job by Money after this save, getting the ball right out, catching the defense off guard, and tried to get something going for the Profs offense.
Yeah, at least trying to control the ball. They really did a nice job in the first 17 minutes of controlling possession. But the Red Hawks trying to fight back a little bit now, and really that's the way it goes with two teams that are so evenly matched. If one team is pulling ahead in one aspect of the game, expect it to even out before games end, and that seems to be what we're seeing right now. The Red Hawks keeping the ball in the Prof zone across the middle of the field. A pass able to be collected by Money. Just so aware where the ball is. Such quick reaction time. Immediately making up her mind, and more often than not, she's making up her mind with the right decision. The Profs moving up into a lot of space here. Carpino has it on the near sideline. New waiting in the middle of the field. A ball crossed into the box, off the body of Reardigan, and it looks like it will stay in bounds right outside the box. Reardigan sets it up for a shot, but it skies over the net. A nice set-up opportunity there by Reardigan for Kelly, but Kelly puts it over the crossbar, and that is why Reardigan leads this team in assists, setting up her teammates like that.
Well, I couldn't see her because her back was towards us. Her eyes probably got wide. She saw an open net, and she thought that she was going to put that right in. Fortunately, a lot of power on that, and sailed out of the sports complex here at Glassboro.
Yeah, it won't be a fun one to track down as that hit the road. That will be rolling a long way, and the Red Hawks go all the way down the field to try to get a shot attempt, but Money, as she always does, clears it right back to around midfield. So much ground made up with every one of those kicks, and some contact at midfield. Looks like it'll be a free kick. Going down on that one was Kelly. The Profs will have a chance from right before midfield to clear it up with a free kick. Hopefully be able to turn this recent offensive surge into a goal, because if you're getting opportunity after opportunity and goals aren't coming, it starts to get a little frustrating. Then perhaps you try a little bit too hard, and one lapse in judgment leads to a goal for the other end. The ball ends up in the box, cleared out though. It'll be a throw-in. That ball cleared out ferociously by the Red Hawks. Just want to get it away from the box whenever they can, and really can't blame them. .26 minutes remaining in the second half of this NJAC game. The Profs try to clear it into the box, but unable to do so. Approaching 8:30 here in Glassboro. I mean, I've said this before, but you'd expect an early November soccer game. Probably be a little bit chilly, but Profs fans and players alike have to be happy with the way it's turned out. Nothing's changed, which is pretty much just as impressive as starting with nice weather, just because given the Glassboro tendencies, not always a reliable forecast, but a great night for some playoff soccer, and so far the show has been just as good, if not better. Both teams fighting tooth and nail to try to get on the board first without letting the opposing team match that goal. And Maxine New with a deep kick to Carchidi, not able to get her though. Too far into the middle was that one. Wanted to get that a little closer to the sideline, give her a chance to run it down.
It looks like the getting updates on my phone right here. The Cubs take a 1-0 lead on the Cleveland Indians. Top second.
Well, there you go. That's definitely in the interest of a lot of fans. Probably, I mean, I'm sure there are Rowan fans and alumni alike that are fans of both of those teams. And despite the action that's going on there, hopefully the Profs fans will have something to cheer about. And the Red Hawks clear the ball in dangerously. Money not able to dive completely on that one. Got her hands on it, but able to knock it away and clear it out. But, man, again, another lead for the Cubs early. The way that series has gone so far, pretty much whatever team gets on the board first might be able to pull it out. I mean, especially against the Indians, the best way to hit guys like Andrew Miller and Cody Allen is to not have to play them. And if the Cubs are playing from ahead, they might not have to worry about it too much.
For me, it doesn't matter who wins tonight between the Cubs and the Indians. Both played a hard-fought series. I know all their fans bases want their team to win, but as a Phillies fan, I could see any of them. It doesn't matter. I would love to see both of them win.
Yeah, exactly. You feel terrible, and as Montclair State trying to get a throw-in into the box here, a potential opportunity, trying to get cleared away by Rowan. They're able to do so for now, but Montclair State unrelenting, just constantly clearing the ball in, and this will be a goal kick for them. And the NJAC tournament, the NCAA tournament for D3 soccer, and for all of NCAA athletics in that respect, all the divisions, single elimination tournaments. And while that can be rough sometimes, one bad game can doom your season, it really prevents a lot of the stress that Cubs and Indians fans are feeling right now, because Game 7 was probably not what they wanted. Obviously, they want the chance to win, but a clean sweep would have just made it so much easier to watch some of these games. But that's never the way it is. But hopefully, the Profs take advantage of the single elimination format and keep their season alive with one strong win. They've played a strong game and a strong second half in the first 21 minutes of it. 23 minutes remaining here in the second half. Still 0-0. Shelby Money unable to collect the ball. Some contact in the box, but cleared away by the Rowan defense. She's getting her hands on a lot of them in the last few minutes, but none have been able to hit the back of the net.
Both teams with relentless offenses, and they just won't quit. You know, as soon as they get into the zone, they're going to keep going and going and going right to the goal until something gives.
Yeah, McCary with a nice touch on the sideline here. Ball deflected. She was unable to throw it in like she wanted to. We'll change it up a little bit. Lisa Cella entering the game for the Profs. Solid contributor for this team for the past 2 seasons from the midfield. Another very strong senior presence for this Profs team. Carpino with the throw-in on the near sideline, gets it into New. It's deflected right out of bounds, though, and it'll go to the Redhawks. Throw-in from pretty much the same spot, about 5 yards further down the field. Throwing the ball in, Daniela Greco. Good to see her back out on the field after coming off due to injury earlier on in the second half. McCary has the ball in the middle of the field, trying to clear it up towards the far corner. No Profs doing just yet, but Maxine New lurking in the area, as well as Carpino. Carpino cannot get a touch on this as the Redhawks try to clear it up. Breaking up now, moving towards the middle of the field a little bit are the Redhawks, but McCary now back on it. Back into the Prof zone. Now the Profs trying to get it. Carpino not able to get a second touch on it, though, but now it's Beenders in the middle of the field, crossing it to the far side. Gets almost a shoulder on it there, keeping possession right outside the 18-yard line now, trying to get it. Looks like they're going to try to go to Beenders, but not able to do it. Controlling the ball for a long time now is Hornstra before finally moving it back to Coaster. Now they move it back. Back and forth between Coaster. Now the ball cleared into the box finally, but Money will be able to get her hands on it, try to lead Tyler Madison there, but unfortunately not able to get a shot on goal for the Redhawks.
Weird kick right there by Money. Usually she has a booming kick downfield, and it didn't even make it to midfield before the first bounce. Unfortunately, couldn't get something that starts Rowan offense. But right now, they stole the ball.
Yeah, Rowan trying to move up the field once again. A backwards pass by New, but not enough juice on it to get it up to McCary. Like the thinking there, those are the kind of plays that really break them open. And for whatever reason, the Profs have had success the last couple of years with these behind-the-back passes. New and Kelly in particular always seem to know when to try them, because even though it didn't connect there, it really didn't hurt that they tried to make that pass, get by their teammates an extra half second or so, try to make something happen. But the Profs have a little bit of space here in the middle of the field. The Redhawks do have some bodies more tightly knit in the middle of the field, so it'll be hard to break in, but for now they have an opportunity to find a crease. A shot from outside the box, heading over across the field, but Carpino not able to make a play on the ball. Some nice positioning there on the defense, and easily gathered by Barrow. Just under 20 minutes remaining here in the second half. The score still tied at 0. Just a reminder, you're listening to Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. This is Mike DeLeo alongside Joe Stauffenberg. Hopefully we'll be able to call more than one postseason game for this team. The Profs need to get this first goal, though, and perhaps the first goal in this one will be the only one at this pace. The Profs looking for it here. Another turnover at midfield. McCary has it right outside the box, but some contact. Both players were fighting for the ball. Looked like a little bit unnecessary there, but Beatty able to cleanly move the ball away. Nothing too malicious in intent, and the Profs and the Redhawks will play on. A nice move at midfield to keep possession there. Willscroft being a little bit crafty with that one, and the defense for the Profs moving the ball up the field once again. Trying to make something happen. They've been in this end plenty, pretty much since Montclair had the best scoring opportunity of the game. But now McCary trying to work across the field. The speed of the defense, though, able to keep up. A slight touch there stops the opportunity there for Carpino. unable to get a shot on. Fasano crossing it into the box, but now cleared out by the Redhawks. The Profs almost had a chance that they really, really wanted there, but nice awareness by the Redhawks being in the right place at the right time once again. Rowan still keeping the ball in their offensive end. An unrelenting attack. McKinley breaking towards the goal line. Ball goes out of bounds. Will be a goal kick or a corner, and it will be a corner. Both players going for the ball as it approached the goal line, but it was McKinley that was able to force the deflection, and the ball trickles out of bounds. Just under 18 minutes remaining. Far corner will be the corner kick. Profs setting up in the box.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for Rowan to take the lead. You have one of the best kickers out there, one of the best goal scorers, trying to get this corner for a score.
And this ball crossed in, another low kick heading towards the near post, but now it's on the outside. The defense trying to clear it in, rolls very low, doesn't get any air, and not on goal. An opportunity wasted there for the Profs. Just under 17:30 remaining. It'll be a goal kick for the Redhawks.
Number 6, Alex Glickman.
And just like that, it's the perfect time right now to get a goal for either team. Hopefully Rowan can get that side of the goal, but not much time remaining in regulation here.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it doesn't matter when they score the goal. It could be here all night as long as the Profs get on the board first. That's what most of the fans here want. Give the Montclair State fans a lot of credit, though. A lot of them showed up being very energetic, just as the Profs are. And a long lead pass from McCary, trying to use that speed and just not able to do it. If there was about a split second more, she might have been able to get a touch on there, at least disrupt Barrow picking up the ball. But there's only so much space on the field. Sometimes you wish for a shorter field, sometimes you wish for a longer field, and there, McCary wanted a little bit more space. This ball boomed up into the offensive end for the Profs, and I mean, that's part of what makes McCary so dangerous on the field. It seems like no matter how far away the ball is, no matter how long the race is, she's always going to outrun whoever she's up against. It's just a matter of if she has enough time to get there. Now this ball crossed into the middle of the field. The ball missed by both players, which is never good, but the ball stayed exactly where it was, and the Profs were able to clear it out for the time being, but Tyler Madison able to put it up once again, and it looks like Greco back down on the field. Might have taken some contact, definitely probably something with the ankle. She's down on the near sideline. Hopefully nothing too serious. Obviously she's giving her all out on the field, trying to do everything she can to help her team win. The junior from Bridgewater, New Jersey.
It's something you never want to see. Third time going down, and especially with a big player like Greco. It's going to be tough for Montclair State to do something with their offense in the last 16 minutes of the game.
Yeah, so 16 minutes remaining, just like you said. Both teams, I mean, this is kind of what we expected from the Profs. They want a more low-scoring affair. Montclair State has scored a ton of goals this season. But, I mean, Rowan really hasn't been slouching in that department either. In their first and second halves, matching their totals, 28 and 28, which about is as balanced as you could ask for. But you mentioned the number earlier for Montclair State. They had 37 in the first half, 26 in the second. So the Profs just a slightly better scoring team in the second half, but overall they score less goals and are more comfortable with letting their defense win the game. But at some point, you just got to hope that the offense can finally get that one big play that they need to break through and possibly just seize control of this game for the remainder.
And Rowan getting 146 shots throughout the season in the second half compared to the 161 in the first half. You definitely know that the total of shots are going up in the second half for Rowan. They've gotten off a lot and have made the goalie work.
Yeah, no, I mean, another big advantage for this Profs team coming into this whole season, but also for this game right here, is that a lot of the players have been in this exact situation before. The last playoff run was really made up of a lot of these players. Only a couple of seniors graduated last year. So for that deep postseason run they were able to make, a lot of the same personnel out here. So obviously there's always playoff jitters, no matter what players say at any level, whether it's professional or college. Everybody gets a little bit more nervous or anxious at the very least coming into the playoff matchups. But the Profs know how to deal with it. And, I mean, they've really been composed in this game so far. Really no mistakes, but it's just a matter of whether or not they can make a play without possibly screwing up a little bit.
I mean, Rowan, a very, very young team. I'm just looking at it. It's a sophomore, sophomore, freshman, junior, senior. Not a lot of seniors on this team. It's a very young team that is getting the job done. Keeping a great offense like Montclair State in check.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Carchidi, we mentioned Cella, as Greco has helped off the field. Again, hopefully she will be okay. Not too seriously injured, but other seniors for the Profs, Rebecca Fasano and Maxine New, as well as Caitlin Fedor coming off the bench. And I mean, there's been some moments where she hasn't necessarily been a massive difference maker in the starting lineup, but whenever she's called upon off the bench, always ready to contribute. And I mean, that's really something you love to see from seniors on any team. Whatever they're asked to do, they're able to do it. And the Profs are fortunate enough to have 5 on the team that do that and more for the team.
Yeah, you look at some of the professional players, like the Clippers. You have Jamal Crawford. He's not a starter, multiple times 6th man of the year, but whenever he's on the court, he does his job, and you know, he's old enough to know his role on the team to where that he doesn't really have to fight for a starting job. He knows he's a bench production.
Yeah, exactly. It's knowing what you are, and I mean, in Jamal Crawford's case, he knows, all right, I'm out on the court, it's time to take some shots.
Exactly,
and, I mean, that's not necessarily every player off the bench. You always think of explosive scorers coming off the bench making a difference. But even in soccer, that's not always the case. You get a player that can come out and lock somebody down. Like, all right, they're always in the right defensive position against a kind of player that likes to shoot from a distance, might not necessarily like to cut in, or vice versa. Maybe they're good at tracking down people on a fast break, able to shut them down. And, I mean, overall, there's really no glaring weakness for any of the Profs. But at the same time, that's like a blessing and a curse, because it really puts a lot of the pressure on Scott Leacott. All right, who do I want out in what situation? And, I mean, you really can't argue with what he's come up with so far this season. The Profs, again, only losing 1 game so far. And they can't tie anymore, so it's either going to be a win or a loss. Hopefully the Profs can come out on top here. Play finally resumes, just under 16 minutes remaining. There's 16 minutes before overtime to try to get this first goal. Now Carpino has it on the near side. Cleared into the box. Nearly a handball. Almost in the box. Must have gotten her chest, but that was very close to being a penalty kick opportunity for the Profs. But the ball still in the box. A header trying to get it to McCary, but she's not able to get there in time. A nice idea there, making that last-second pass. I mean, she had a good opportunity right there to score. Tried to turn it into a great opportunity and just missed the mark.
And, you know, we just talked about players who don't really start but have a big impact, like, and they come off from the starter. You look at Catherine McCary, who's been a pest out there on both offense and defense. You know, she's been big for this Rowan team, especially in the second half, and to try to chase a ball down on defense or to try to go get it and try to set up a scoring attempt on offense.
Yeah, some substitutions now here for the Profs. A lot of the starters coming back into the game. Lauren Coletti, Megan Carchidi coming into the game, as well as Danny Kitzinger.
22, Melissa Kelly. And number 29,
Melissa Kelly and Shannon Reardigan. So the Profs got a nice rest. And again, didn't really lose much with those players out, but they certainly are happy to have those fresh legs back out on the field. Try to put the nail in the coffin here. Still 0-0, though, just over 14 minutes to play. And the Redhawks now making their first push up the field in quite some time. And once again, trying to be the first one down there for that Redhawks team is Tyler Madison. She's done a great job this game, but the Profs able to take it away. Kelly unable to handle that pass, went down briefly. She is okay. Redhawks trying to fight this ball back up. Sutkus trying to make a pass. Now Kelly has some room. They try to get it upfield. Breaking up is Coletti. Does she have enough speed? Oh, she cannot get there in time, but Reardigan there to clean up the mess, but not before the Redhawks can clear it out momentarily. The Profs trying to work it up the near sideline. Not sure if Coletti's going to get there in time. Ball slowed down a little bit, but it'll still be a Redhawks throw-in. Redhawks desperately trying to get this ball out of the defensive end, especially in a 0-0 game. You do not want to be forced to play tight defense for that whole remainder. They want to try to spread out the field, but the Profs want to contain this offense in this one section of the field. And Hicks trying to get the ball back up towards that end of the field. Kitzinger not able to get there in time, but she did force the ball to be kicked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Now the throw-in coming from Fasano to Kelly. looking to work it back towards the middle of the field. No options there. Kicked out of bounds again by the Red Hawks, and Fasano will reset. Ball thrown in now on the near sideline. That's Coletti. Coletti trying to fight for it, and the ball's out of bounds once again. The Profs slowly working up with these throw-ins. They get it right to Coletti towards the near corner. She goes down. Now Coletti still has the ball on the goal line, but a little bit too heavy of a touch there, and now the ball's cleared out. More contact in the box, but it'll be finally deflected out by Kitzinger, and it will be a Red Hawks throw-in.
Coletti looking for the call. Won't get it. Collided with Betty on Montclair. Just looked like incidental contact as she tripped over her.
And I mean, that's why they say in soccer you don't necessarily have to be afraid of the contact, because usually it can turn into opportunities like that. The Red Hawks trying to start an opportunity of their own. Beenders trying to work down the field, but nice positioning there by Daigle to clear that ball out of danger. Get it back up towards midfield. Reardigan fighting for it. Able to retain possession and move back a little bit, but the Profs do have it. Trying to move up past midfield, just under 12 to go. Both teams now trading possession back and forth. The Red Hawks finally able to slow it down a little bit after a deep pass. Kelly fighting for it right at midfield, though. Trying to break free. A lot of contact in the middle of the field, and that will be a free kick for the Profs. And, well, more often than not, Kelly has the positioning that she needs to get the benefit of the doubt on those calls, and there was no different, but the Profs give it away right after. Now Beenders has the ball in the middle of the field. She deflects it right off. It'll be a break towards the middle of the field. The Profs trying to get back on defense to prevent a shot, and they are able to do so. Some nice positioning there to shut down Tyler Madison's shot opportunity. It was Beenders and Madison. Looked like they had a read on the ball, but the Profs had enough time to make up the ground.
You haven't really seen a lot of playmaking from the defense in this half from Rowan. It just shows that second half they can play defense too.
Yeah, absolutely. Some nice job making up that ground there, because those are exactly the kind of plays that could come back to bite a team in a 0-0 game. But the Profs hold strong, and now they're trying to respond with an offensive opportunity of their own. Some more contact just outside the box. Kitzinger trying to cross it in. That's Kitzing. Now the ball cleared back out towards midfield. And the ball going all the way back to Money, who kicks it out, slides down to the ground to make sure that that ball does not go up into the air. The ball back up to Kitzinger. And the ball is going back towards the Red Hawks. I mean, usually we see the ball follow Carchidi to wherever side of the field he is, but Kitzinger this game has been really a focal point for the Profs attack. Contact in the middle of the field. That's Carchidi coming across towards the middle now. And she'll go back to defend the Red Hawks attack, which is breaking down that far sideline. Cassidy Mazzone trying to work in, and there will be a whistle blown here. Looks like it'll be a free kick attempt for the Red Hawks from just outside that 18-yard box, about 25 yards out. Very nice opportunity here.
We haven't seen many. We haven't seen many in the Rowan Prof zone here.
Not at all. This ball kicked, and that will go over the net. I mean, not a bad chance there when you're that close. Try to put it on net, see what happens. A lot of capable legs, able to blast it into the back.
14, Maxine
and
New.
Speaking of that, Maxine New coming back into the game for the Profs, as well as Megan McKinley, two big playmakers for this team. Just under 10 minutes to go, 9:15 remaining in the second half. The score still tied at 0 here on the campus of Rowan University. And I mean, the tempo of the game really hasn't changed since 90 minutes ago, almost. Both teams continue to execute their game plan. They just haven't been able to get a goal on the board.
It seems like a lot of the play has been around midfield, or at least in the second half, been in the Montclair zone.
And Melissa Kelly now breaking up the middle of the field. McKinley, some contact up the side of the field, and they will call that on the Profs. And I mean, both players were going for the ball, but a lot of the contact was dished out there by McKinley. That's why the call was made. Sometimes it looks a lot worse than it actually was. Obviously, the intent was just going for the ball, but a lot of contact nonetheless.
It looks like McKinley maybe hit her in the face, not intentional, or at least it didn't look like
no.
from our vantage point. But it was, I believe it was the right call. Unfortunately, it was called up against Rowan, and taking some time now.
Yeah, I mean, Sutkus appears to be okay after the big collision. Hopefully the Profs will be able to rebound and get right back to about that spot of the field, because that's really where things start to get going with a couple of passes and then one big shot from really, you only need to get 10 yards about farther than that. This took place about 35 yards away from the net. But the free kick from Montclair State after the foul called somehow gets into the box, but Shelby Money able to scoop it up. No danger there. Deflected past the leg of Beenders. Now McKinley's able to get the ball, but kicked right back by the Red Hawks. Trying to fight for it on that sideline, and it will be a Rowan throw-in. McKinley was going to throw it in, but now they change it up, and she works down the near sideline. Wouldn't be surprised if this ball goes right to her, and it does. Now McKinley trying to back down. The fans expressing their praise for the referees here as the Profs try to move up the field, but the ball gets deflected back towards the Red Hawks, and it looks like they will call a foul on the Red Hawks before that last pass. Looked like Montclair was able to move up the field a little bit, but they call it right back. 7:25 left in the second half. Profs free kick whistled down. Not yet. Moving back just a little bit. And that is all gonna, I bet that's a master plan for the Profs. Move it back that extra couple of feet, give them exactly what they want off this free kick. Ends up right on Kelly, who actually lets it go by. Reardon gets a touch off onto the near sideline. McKinley not able to get there, but the Red Hawks not out of danger yet as they're forced to kick it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in from pretty deep in Montclair territory.
6:45 left to play. This is the perfect opportunity for Rowan. Get a goal real quick right before the game ends. Just keep it in the zone. Just try to get any shot to go on net.
Now the throw-in coming. Right near the near corner. Kelly has it, trying to find some space towards the goal line. She's holding it right now, right outside of the box, waiting for her teammates to make their moves. She gets a pass right off into McKinley, into the box. Some contact in the middle of the box, and she goes down. No call made. And the Profs now working back to that near corner, crossing it back to the middle, deflected right back out, but right back across now. And the Profs will have it on the other side of the field for now. Will they be able to maintain possession? No. The Red Hawks able to avoid disaster again and clear the ball all the way back down to Rowan's end with just under 6 minutes to go.
Which was a tough play overall. Right in the corner of the box, there was only one Rowan player, and what it seemed like there was like 10 Montclair State players. Wasn't exactly, about 4 maybe.
And
but still, it's what it seemed like.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that, and it was just all the patience of Kelly to hold the ball there, McKinley was waiting for the opportunity to break, and that's what she's doing right now. Breaking down this near sideline. Reardon has it right outside the box, puts a shot on net. Saved, heading towards the top left corner, but able to be batted away by Barrow. A calculated but strong shot off the foot of Reardon, and the Profs will have a corner kick with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Wow, what a save, especially at this time with 5 minutes left to go in the game. What a big save.
Yeah, an absolutely big save. A nice shot there by Reardon, but now the Profs preparing for this corner kick opportunity. Coming in, the last couple have been short. This one will be going long. It's in the air, right in the middle of the box to get a head on it, but it goes backwards. The Profs still trying to follow it up. A strong shot low, exactly where it needs to be, but it gets deflected. The ball's still they're trying to keep it in the box, but it will be cleared out down into the Profs' end, but not all the way. They have a touchdown. They'll get it all the way back to Money, who I'm sure will put it right back into Montclair territory, and that's exactly what she does. A booming kick from just inside the box. Now Kelly trying to keep it in, fighting for possession. A little bit of contact at midfield, initiated by her, but the Profs do have possession and now get it back into the Montclair zone. The Red Hawks trying their best to keep the ball in their zone, or out of their zone rather, but the Profs just will not stop. About 4 minutes remaining now. The Profs getting near that box once again. Trying to work it up to that far sideline. Cutting in. Now back out. The Red Hawks really cannot get their bearings right now. Have not generated an offensive opportunity in some time. Contact in the middle of the field will go out on Beenders, though. It'll be a Profs throw-in from just inside of Rowan's own territory. A lot of action going on here later on in the second half especially. Some more contact on that far sideline.
You know, we were talking about how earlier the referees and you know, not blowing the whistle, and that's basically what you're seeing later on. You know, of course, everyone's going to be really upset. You know, the game is just over 3 minutes left, and all the non-calls that they're going to get the fans upset.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit more aggressive for both players. The ball crossed into the middle of the box. Goalie cannot get it, but Reardon cannot find it right in front of the net. I mean, those plays are so hard getting deflected. You kind of expect the goalie to come up with it, but just not able to find the ball in time to put it into the back of the net. Would have been a big one for the Profs, and the only one for either team, because we are still tied at 0 with 3 minutes left in this one. A little bit of contact, but it will be a throw-in for Montclair State in Rowan territory.
Rowan did not score there because there was no other person there to rebound.
Yeah, I mean, the play developed pretty quickly, so
exactly.
Pretty hard for somebody else to get over there. Montclair State now with a throw-in chance inside Rowan's territory. Haven't been here in quite some time, it seems. This ball crossed over the middle, and it will be a goal kick for Money.
It's going to be a key play right here. Money has a big leg. Assume that it's going to be all the way over in the Montclair, but no, we'll take a conservative kick.
McKinley, a big playmaker, always gets the right touch. Oh, and that pass left a little bit too short by Reardon. Needed to wait a couple more seconds to make that one. A good idea to get McKinley coming back or Kelly coming across. The miscommunication here. Kelly keeps the ball in Montclair territory. McKinley taking her time. Working down this near sideline, gets it to Reardon. They try to cross it back over to Kelly, and she does get it. Now she has Reardon back in the middle of the field if she wants her, but she's moving back towards this near corner now. Moving in, they leave it. And the cross attempt into the middle of the box is a nice one. High off the head of a Montclair State defender. The Profs back into the box. Kelly trying to get it, but now it's Reardon right outside the box, working back towards the near corner now. Heading towards the goal line. The ball will be kicked out, and it will be a throw-in from right next to the flag on the near corner here on the right side of the field. McKinley looking for the throw-in. She's able to get it into Kelly. She has McKinley in the corner if she needs her. Now looking for the cross. It's a deep one all the way towards the far post. Not able to get a head on it. Not a lot of Profs bodies over there at that time. And they're able to clear it back to midfield for now, but the Profs attack is not done just yet. About 70 seconds remaining in the second half. The Profs moving it back. Trying to work up the field. And a nice attempt there by Fasano to get it up. And Reardon has it near the corner. Some contact. Reardon now moving back towards center field, gets it across to the middle to Kelly. The ball's been in the near corner a lot, and that's where the Profs go with it once again. Some contact on McKinley, feet getting tangled up, and it will be kicked out of bounds by the Redhawks. It will be a throw in. The Profs wave knows time getting it in. 38 seconds left. The ball kicked out of bounds by McKinley, and it will be a Redhawks throw in.
Just a tough break there that Rowan was trying to get something set up, and unfortunately it was kicked out of bounds for a Redhawk throw in.
Yeah, so now the throw comes in, 19 seconds remaining, kicked out of bounds once again by Kelly. So it's 16 seconds remaining here, drifting closer and closer to overtime. The Redhawks with another throw in here, 10 seconds remaining, headed out by McKinley again. The Profs are content with moving this one into overtime, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. The Profs or the Redhawks not able to get a goal on the board, seemingly right past the corners, right past the net. Just not able to drive it home. So both teams have shown they have what it takes to score. It's just a matter of which one can actually do it first. And we are off in this overtime. Carchidi starting with the ball, working in the middle of the field, right on the foot of Maxine New. They get it to her quick, but Kelly was not cutting just quite soon enough. And New's pass soars out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw Rowan really take the bull by the horns for the second half. They came out just looking like a brand new team, it seemed. They got the offense working. The defense really held strong, and now we're in this first overtime.
Yeah, the Profs keeping it on their end so far. Now they move it in. Reardon trying to move up, but not able to get to that ball in time, but it will be kicked out of bounds. The Profs will be able to keep it in with a throw-in. Yeah, it's all about possession for the Profs, especially in the recent 20 minutes or so of this game. They have been dominant on that side of the ball, keeping it in. The Profs taken down, but manages to keep possession despite going down, trying to get across into the middle of the field, able to play it while down, and that's what they do call her for. So a lot of contact takes her down, but it is the playing the ball from the ground that gets called. So Montclair State perhaps has the first opportunity to get the ball into Rowan's defensive end of the field in this overtime period. That ball is cleared up, and that's exactly where it goes, headed back closer towards the Rowan net. Not too in danger yet. Beenders goes down, and a little bit of a collision, and they do give her the call, and it will be a free kick in the middle of the Rowan defensive zone. Beenders doing a nice job there, being in the right place at the right time, and I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about, sometimes getting rewarded for not being afraid of that contact.
Yeah, we heard the whistle wasn't really alive in the first half, basically silent, and now second half and overtime really coming into play.
And the free kick coming off the feet right into the arms of the waiting Shelby Money, and again, another quick read there. Easy save. 8 minutes to go in the first overtime period. This ball is cleared out past midfield. Booted nicely there, though, to keep it back into Rowan zone. They had Carchidi on the near side, opt not to go in that direction. They kick it back instead. The Rowan defense trying to move the ball up. Slow but steady pass somehow makes it to the far sideline without being intercepted, and now the Profs back in business on the Montclair side of the field. New controlling with it. They're controlling very slowly, almost a handball there, and they do call it. Will be a free kick for the Profs. I mean, a hard kick, hard to really react. Her hand was in the wrong place there. And the Profs have a free kick right past the 50, but this one will surely be pretty much deep into the box. An opportunity here to perhaps get that goal that they need and desperately have been trying to get for more than 90 minutes. 7 minutes remaining in the overtime. The ball kicked, barely makes it into the box, will be headed away easily by Montclair State. Beenders has it and gets a nice touch out, but the Profs able to get control. Hicks nails it back into the box. They have a couple of bodies in there, but headed away calmly by the Red Hawks defense. But it's Maxine New with it on the outside of the box. Kicks it in towards it. Batted away by Barrow, but the Profs still have it right on the outside of the 18. Trying to make something happen. A shot attempt, that's going to go over the net. So got a strong kick on it. That was McKinley off of the feed from Weirdigan, but not able to keep it below the crossbar.
And it hit the wrong net.
Yeah,
right over, right to the side, and hit the safety net to keep the ball in the field of play.
Yeah, that was heading right for a fan standing on the bleachers of the softball field there. That would have been a dangerous sight, but nonetheless, hopefully, at the very least, if the Profs didn't score, at least everybody's okay after that play. Never want something that crazy to happen. But 6 minutes remaining here in the first overtime. Still 0-0 as we await the golden goal in this game to send one of these teams to face the TCNJ Lions, who really the Lions were able to take down both of these teams throughout the season, something that not an easy task. So it's definitely going to be a good game there as well. Hard to really believe, though, that it could possibly be as good as this one. Very tightly contested between NJAC rivals, and now the Profs moving up the field. Weirdigan with the pass, but the second one deflected to try to get it perhaps back, but a wicked spin on that ball on the far sideline. Keeps it right on the foot of the Rowan attack. Trying to get past to the goal line. Can they get a cross off before it goes out of bounds? They do, but it is right, easily taken by Montclair State. No imminent threat there. Now Rowan trying to keep it in the zone, and they do. Getting a couple of nice bounces to finally go their way. Melissa Kelly controlling the ball very well, working towards the box. Goes down right outside the box, and there will be a call. Kelly knocked down right outside the 18-yard line, and a free kick opportunity from right outside the box is well within range for the Profs to potentially score here. No doubt that it'll be Maxine New taking this kick, and that's exactly who it is. The Profs could go for a potential pass here, but we've seen her score from this spot on the field many times before. It's a three-person wall near that far side. The ball's off her foot. Shot just over the crossbar, just by a hair. She's done that a couple times this game. Just cannot seem to get that ball low enough to be on net.
And that was the exact person that Rowan wanted kicking that ball, and unfortunately couldn't get it done. It was just like the one that we've seen to our right side that everybody thought was a goal, but everybody knew that this time wasn't.
Yeah, especially from this side of the field. A lot easier to see. She was shooting from the far side instead of the near side. A lot of factors went into that one. A collective error earlier on in the game from the Rowan faithful, but it was all good intentions there. But again, I mean, give credit to the wall there. putting New off just a little bit, but with just under 4 minutes to go, both of these teams still looking for that golden opportunity. Try to get a goal on the board. Kitzinger now into the game, and they work the ball to Carchidi now. They get it back to New in the middle of the field, still far away from the net. Almost looked like she was going to shoot anyway, but now she's right outside the box, puts a shot on net, headed right off the crossbar. She got it a little bit lower than the last free kick, but still not low enough. Smacks off the crossbar, they get it back into the box, and it will go out of bounds to the right. New almost wins it for the Profs.
Man, that would have been a storybook ending to this game. Man, just a couple inches lower.
Yeah, would have seemed,
it would have been right there.
Would have seemed very fitting, considering we're seeing these teams both try to be so precise, making passes inside the box, and to have the game end on just a booming kick from about 25 yards out would have been a surefire way of ending this game in an NJAC fashion. It will be a free kick for Montclair State from within their own territory, just under 3 minutes remaining in the overtime period. Still 0-0. This is Mike DeLeo alongside Joe Stauffenberg for Rowan Radio, 89.7 WGLS FM, hoping that the Profs can get on the board with the first and would-be only goal of this game. It's been very tightly contested. Montclair State not going away. They still have shown that their offense is capable, despite the Profs maintaining possession for a lot of this overtime period. And they do call a foul on Montclair State as they're trying to move up the field, and Rowan wastes no time getting the free kick up. Kelly has a lot of space moving up the middle. Now she has New on the left, and looks like she's going to try to find her. And the ball is left there for Carchidi off the deflection, heading in on the goal line, trying to make it in. She gets very close. Ball pops straight up into the air a little bit farther back. Riedergan now has it, tries to put it on net, and she can't get it there either. The Profs still have it in the box, though. That's Kitchener trying to get a shot up, and it's off the side of the net. More great opportunities for the Profs, but none are able to go in.
Just seems nothing is going Rowan's way this game. You've seen multiple times where New or basically anybody from this team is just trying to shoot, and unfortunately it's just missing the net and couldn't get that overtime winner.
100 seconds left in the first period, and Catherine McCary comes into the game, and she is well aware of what it takes to score a game-winning goal in the NJAC tournament. She actually clinched the final last season against the Lions with a very timely goal, looking to do the same for her team. And this one, a slight push in the back here, but they do just call a throw-in. Carchidi now on Rowan's side of the field trying to work it. They get it to Kelly. 75 seconds left in this overtime period. Profs moving it slowly back before Hicks finally gets it up around midfield. Trying to get it to New, but the ball's popped straight up into the air by Brooke Beatty of the Red Hawks. Carchidi heading it over towards New. New fighting for it in the air, goes down. Expected some contact, and she got it on the way down, and they do call it there. It will be a free kick. Maxie New finally able to get up, and now they waste no time getting it over to Carchidi on the near sideline. New tries to work it back, or Carchidi rather, still on it on the near sideline. It'll be another Rowan throw-in. Giving a little bit of time now, trying to get into Kelly. Some contact deep in Montclair's territory. No call, but Red Hawks forced to clear it out of bounds again. It'll be another throw-in with 30 seconds remaining in the overtime period. They get it right into near the box. McCary on the goal line trying to make it happen. Crosses it off the cameraman, and it will be a goal kick straight into him. And I mean, does a great job for all of Rowan Athletics. He's just trying to get a good shot of the winning goal. Unfortunately, he took the shot there.
Kept his eye on the ball, though. It kept the camera going.
Yeah, 10 seconds remaining. The Profs still unable to score on these relentless opportunities firing towards the net. But that will be the end of the first overtime here on the campus of Glassboro.
For the Cubs and Indians, top four, Addison Russell with a sacrifice fly. Now the Cubs are winning 2-1 Game 7 for the World Series.
Yeah, tightly contested one there as well. And I mean, in a low-scoring affair like that, it's every point matters, and it's really no more apparent than in this Profs game right here. Kitzinger, though, with the ball, trying to make something happen, makes her man miss almost. Cannot get by, though. A nice little move there, try to free up some space. Unable to get the necessary space, though, to make that move. Kelly tried to get there, not able to do so. An off-center header there. It actually ended up going to the perfect spot. Very nicely done there by the Red Hawks, but now Kelly has it. trying to call for Reardon, but instead it just goes to Kitzinger on the near sideline. Now she finds a little bit of space, working towards the middle of the field now. Doesn't have too much help, but has help on the far sideline. Opted to cross back over towards the near sideline. Almost had the ball taken away, but now it's New. About 10, 15 yards off the box, spinning, turning, shooting on net, but caught by Barrow. And so New just firing away, and the shots are still very strong. Obviously, you got to hope for perfect placement when you're that far away. But nonetheless, staying aggressive because hoping that Barrow maybe just makes a little bit of a misstep. But now it's Beenders working up the field. She's very dangerous as well. The Profs have done a nice job of shutting her down. But she has a very similar skill set to New, able to shoot from pretty much anywhere on the field. Now this ball cleared and deflected away before it can get on net. Across into the middle of the field, though, off the foot of Beenders. And the shot punched away off the ground. But it will actually be last touched by Montclair. So they got pretty close to the net there, but it will be a goal kick for the Profs. 8:20 left in overtime. Money now clearing it out on the goal kick, trying to set up her teammates as best she can. She's had some booming strikes in this game. The Profs just unable to turn it into a goal. And perhaps their best opportunity came off of a very deep pass from Money that they were able to turn into a couple of chances, just not able to get it in. And now across from Tyler Madison finds a Prof, and they'll try to move it back into the Montclair zone. Some aggression there, doesn't pay off for the Redhawks as the ball is missed, but they're able to clear it right back in towards Rowan's defense. But Rowan doing a nice job at not letting that pressure be sustained by the Redhawks team. And you gotta believe that the pressure just continues to mount for these teams. We've talked about their composure and how well they've responded to it so far, but as this game keeps going on, the tired legs start to kick in, and it's only gonna get more and more pressure filled. And this cross comes over into the middle of the net. Money right there though, not able to get a strong strike there. It landed on the foot of Tyler Madison, who looked like she had a clear shot, but not able to do it. Melissa Kelly near the middle of the field now.
Looked like Melissa Kelly was getting shoved a little bit, and here's a chance for Rowan.
Yeah, moving right up towards the middle of the field. Ball on the foot of New, who works backwards a little bit before going to the far sideline. Working back now. Carchidi trying to get it across, and it almost goes out of bounds. They didn't call it, though, and it's quickly kicked out of bounds for a corner kick. Montclair State was calling for the ball to be out of bounds, but you always play until the whistle is blown, and because of that lapse in judgment, the Props will have a corner kick, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Is that going to be the mistake that comes back to bite this Redhawks team? A corner kick with 6:20 left in the second overtime period of this game.
Watch New.
Still tied at 0. New leaning towards the outside of the box, moving in, the kick coming in. It's a deep one across towards the far post, headed over the net. I believe it was a Prof, and it was. So they got the head on it. It was a beautiful corner kick, just not able to aim it down. That crossbar seems to be pushing every Prof shot above it in this one. Just not able to punch it in.
Too much power by the head, pushing it over the crossbar. And now a goal kick for Montclair State, trying to get, once again, another opportunity.
An absolutely stunning corner kick, though. That's exactly where you want to put it. Give your players in the middle of the box an opportunity to make a play on the ball. That's exactly what happened, just not able to turn it into a goal, just like many of the Profs' opportunities in this game. Ball cleared out towards the defense. They get it back to Money. She has a chance to try to let the offense reset before booting it right back up towards midfield. Hit first by the Redhawks, though. Pops straight up into the air, trying to maintain possession. Kelly over there doing a nice job of trying to stop any momentum they have going up the field, but the Redhawks still finding a way. They get a pass up to Beenders outside of the box, but she leaves it a little bit softly, but now has it over to Tyler Madison, who crosses it back towards the middle of the box. The Redhawks do have it in the box now. The Profs do have bodies there to back up. A little bit of contact. The Profs doing a nice job fighting for the ball, forcing the ball out of that box. That's Mayorga trying to fight it in, but the Profs do a nice job of forcing a goal kick. Beautifully done there. No pass made, no really aggressive play on the defense, but it's enough to get the job done, and now Money gets the ball back out towards midfield.
A couple yards into the box, basically forced her right out to the corner, and led for the Profs getting a goal kick.
Reardon trying to push up herself, 1-on-4, still going towards the goal. Some contact in the ball, finally able to get out, but now there's a lot of bodies and a lot of space on the outside of the box. A shot going in a little bit far left. Maybe rushed that one a little bit because everybody was trailing Reardon, trying to catch her, and not the fastest player on the field, but obviously able to possess the ball beautifully. Gets that out. A chance for a couple of short passes, but you don't want to let a shooting lane that open go by the wayside, so really can't blame that follow-up shot there.
Yeah, she did a good job splitting two defenders. Unfortunately, couldn't get it in.
And the Profs have it right on the outside of the box near the goal line on the far side of the field. They cross it in, and it rolls out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick. Nice try there. Try to find that perfect little crevice right by the post. Try to make something happen there. You see that a lot, especially in hockey. Players will be behind the red line trying to fire it off the back of the goalie. It's kind of what it seemed like was trying to be done there, but not able to get any traction on the play were the Profs. 3:30 left in this second overtime period. Neither team able to find a goal. It looks like the Profs have really figured out their offensive game plan. Is not able to do it yet, and they will get a free kick here right past midfield to try to make something happen once again. They're moving up into the box, trying to make something happen with one kick. There will not be a short pass on this one unless it's to somebody else on the defensive line, perhaps Hicks. But it looks like they're going right for the box. A one-man wall. Beenders being forced to move back a little bit. And the strike is made. It's a short one. Gets barely into the box, headed away towards that far sideline, and it looks like it will go out. Or no, it's kept in, but then quickly deflected out of bounds by the Profs. It'll be a throw-in. 2:40 left in the second overtime period. Both teams desperately trying to break this scoreless tie, but not able to get it done just yet.
You can see the determination in both teams. It's just been a great game all around to watch and to hear, and to send themselves to the final to possibly win an NJAC championship. Just something that both teams want very bad, and you can see it in their faces.
Absolutely, and now Rowan controlling the ball in the middle of the field once again, where they've had so much success this game in setting up shots. Carchidi trying to make something happen on a bounce, but it's easily scooped up there. A lot of credit to Molly Barrow. A lot of these opportunities have not been easy stops to make against the Profs, but she's been able to make all the necessary ones nonetheless to give the Red Hawks many last breaths, it would seem. Give them a chance to make something happen. This cross tries to get it up to New, but the ball is deflected before she's able to get a foot on it. The Red Hawks trying to clear it out. Rowan keeping it in for now 90 seconds remaining in this period. Now moving it back towards the middle of the field. Reardon has it. Has New with her, as well as Kelly. Kelly has it right outside of the box, working towards the middle before working back towards this near sideline. I have another person here. McKinley lining it up. It's a high shot, and it goes out of bounds. 1 minute remaining in this second overtime period. Neither team able to score yet.
1 minute remaining in overtime.
It seems like the Profs, though, are just slightly grabbing a hold of the momentum. They're making the passes they want, it seems. They just got to be able to get that goal, and now working back towards the goal line on that far sideline. Trying to get possession, but Red Hawks able to snatch it away for now, but the Profs have it on the outside of the box. It's New. She loves that spot on the field. She gets across over to the middle, right on the outside of the box. Deflected away briefly by Montclair, but New does a nice job of heading it back right into the fray. But now it's cleared out by the Red Hawks to the defensive line. Almost given away to Beenders, and Beenders has speed if she can get a nice angle on this ball. But a nice job there by Daigle to steal the ball away and stop the fast break opportunity. Now they're able to do it once again. Moving back up towards midfield. A lot of space here. Looking for an open pass. The ball deflects off of the midfield, and now a collision at midfield. Player going down. 4 seconds remaining. That'll be the end of the second overtime period, and we will need a third.
Not after all that.
From Barrow, and you can't blame her. That might have been the hardest shot News taken all night.
And she really didn't see that one coming. I mean, right at the top right corner, a great placement. Two great placements, one by Kelly, and then a bullet to the corner by New.
And the top scorer for Montclair State, top scorer in this game, coming up now for the Red Hawks, Emily Beenders, the freshman from Rahway, New Jersey, steps up, shoots, and that is almost saved by Money, but it sneaks in to the bottom left corner. She guessed right, and she got a hand on it, but not able to get there.
Just an unlucky roll for Money right there.
On that, a shot being taken. And I believe that it's actually Money that scored on that last shot, and it's Simpson that's been taking making the saves here for the Profs in the PKs. I'm sorry, I did not even recognize that, and it makes a lot of sense. Simpson much longer at 5'10", and she's able to make the save here for the Profs. Able to make the save on that shot. So Simpson using those few extra inches to her advantage. So Money came in and scored a clutch goal for the Profs in the penalty kicks as the goalie, which has to feel good. But now an opportunity to win for the Profs for Reardigan. She's at the spot. A shot here for the Profs advances them to the NJAC Tournament Finals. And it's in! And the Profs outlast the Red Hawks and take the semifinal victory 0-0, but the win in penalty kicks, a phenomenal team effort, and what better way to win as a team than with an entire team effort on the PKs. Not one shot missed for the team in that rotation. What a game, Joe.